You know who it is, and you know what time it is. Time to piss off some feminists, trad cucks, and whoever don't want to know the truth. Oh well, let's get started.
Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar!
What is going on, gents? It's R.P.M. here, reporting from Mobile Command. So many other content creators talked about this article. So, of course, Neo the Outflanker sent it in my direction. So I'm going to give my 2 cents on it. But before I even start, let's go ahead and lay the groundwork, shall we? An old African proverb. A child that is not embraced by the village will burn it down to feel its warmth. Now with that out of the way, this article was published on the 26th of March. Fury as young boys forced to stand up in assembly and apologize for rapes committed by men. As long as naked yoga is still available to be viewed on YouTube, then the word rape and sexual assault should not be such a trigger. But we all know how this works. Broward College in Victoria, Australia, held an assembly on Wednesday where boys were made to apologize to girls and women in a symbolic gesture. Symbolism. Virtue signaling. That has become a national pastime. Scratch that, an international pastime. The male students were forced to say sorry that women are raped and sexually assaulted despite them never having committed such acts. One parent of a 12-year-old boy in year 7 says her son was left confused as to why this was happening. Parent, okay. Where are the fathers of these boys? See, this was all part of the master plan. Because any father worth his salt would have immediately pulled his son out of that school. But of course, this is why these boys are raised by single mothers. Because they know they can appeal to her emotion. Well, you wouldn't want this to happen to you, would it? Well, of course, the woman's going to say, well, no, because of female group preference. And that's why they're able to serve up their sons to the slaughterhouse called the system. Danielle Shepard told 7 News, quote unquote, he said that he was made to stand up and basically apologize. Now, how many of these young boys decided not to apologize, and what punishments did they face? It was basically explained properly, it was not explained properly to the male students what they were doing and why they were doing it. They really should have made more of an effort to notify the parents. See, once again, as Coach Greg Adams properly names these centers, public school indoctrination camps. On Facebook, another mother called the assembly, quote unquote, a joke. Not all impressed that you made my son apologize for something he's never done nor considered doing. And pupils are just as angry as their parents with one male student criticizing the assembly on Snapchat. See, gentlemen, this is where my unique perspective comes into play, because I'm looking further down the line with this. What they've done is they've given some of these male students their first major red pill moment. They've just created more red pill foot soldiers. He wrote, quote unquote, "Today at Broward, they made every guy stand up and apologize to every girl for rape, sexual assault. Guys go through as much shit as girls do. Quote unquote, inappropriate." Principal of the Warren Bull School, Jane Boyle, of course, defended the school's intentions, but admitted that it may have been inappropriate. No, they know exactly what they were doing. They're still going after the young boys now. Now, there was a young boy that was a content creator. For the longest time, I was kind of iffy on whether or not he should have been in the red pill spaces. However, now that we see clear evidence that these feminist whack jobs have no problems going after even young boys now, guess what? TikTok is going to be a whole lot bigger now. She says the assembly included the screening of a video message by Brisbane's boys college captain Mason Black about being proactive in stopping incidents of sexual assault and harassment. See, what they're trying to do is they're trying to install the white knight programming in these young boys. Even though men and boys understand choices and consequences, why we have so much accountability placed on us through society. We understand this. We don't need to be told this. We know what's right, what's not right. However, see, this right here is going to absolutely put a lot of these boys into a haywire mode. Instead of just letting them naturally be who they were going to grow up to be, nope, they just definitely short-circuited a lot of these boys. And guess what? They're going to start searching for answers. And guess what that's going to lead them to? The red pill. Quote unquote, as part of this discussion, boys were asked to stand as a symbolic gesture of apology for the behaviors of their gender that have hurt or offended girls and women. In retrospect, while well-intentioned, we recognize that this part of the assembly was inappropriate. It comes as the Victorian acting premier James Merlino has made teaching consent compulsory in all government schools from next month. Previously, schools were not directly told to teach consent, but focus on sexuality, relationships, and safety. From next term, state schools will be compelled to teach the government's respectful relationships training on free agreements. Mr. Molino said, respectful relationships is proven to make a real difference and is a recommendation of the Royal Commission into Family Violence. It is a program that should be rolled out nationwide. But we have to listen to students who say they want and need a greater focus on this issue in the classroom. Spoken like the true cuck that he is. Wow. Just wow. Gentlemen, they're creating more red pillars. We don't even have to do anything anymore. We don't. See, unlike feminists who have to literally recruit and shame women into feminism, red pillars, all we got to do is sit back, speak our truth, share our experiences, and more men actually search us out. Why? Because of situations that happen in real time in their life. See, one of the big powers with feminism, and I'm not even going to call it a power because it's not, is forcing men of today to be held responsible for sins of the past. Gentlemen, start putting your foot down and saying, you know what? That's not my problem. I've never committed any act toward a woman, so I'm not going to be held responsible. See, it's the same dynamic that women love to use when they jump from relationship to relationship. See, a woman will bring bricks from her past foundation and try to create a new foundation with you, which is why they love saying the words, he was unfaithful or he was abusive. Gentlemen, when a woman comes to you and says those two terms, immediately cut her off and say, you know what? You're not worthy to be with me because I'm not about to try to fix your ex's mistakes, which is what they want you to do. No. If she's not coming to you with a clean bill of health, then guess what? Wrong. Don't do it. So eventually, more and more men are going to end up walking completely away. Now, I know this is something that will not happen in my lifetime, but there's a side of me that really hopes it does happen. There will come a point in time where men become so fed up, they felt so much pain that they will actively become militant against the feminists and the white knights that are in front of them. And that will be a glorious day. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You think that feminism is not going to go away via violence? One day it will happen. Not in my lifetime, but there will come a day where something happens to where men finally say enough is enough. And that day will be very glorious. Oh, man. Maybe you guys will remember this article. Well, this story. During the brush fires down in Australia, they had a massive series of brush fires. They took that opportunity to take a huge shot at the firefighters. While they were actively fighting the brush fires, the Green Party or Labor Party, whatever the Democratic Party is down there, decided to trot out a stereotypical radical feminist. I mean, she was hideous. Had on these stupid horn-rimmed glasses, the traditional feminist short hair, all of it. They brought her out, and she said on national television that some of the firefighters would come home and beat their partners. Wow. Just wow. One day, ladies, one day, men will finally just set their tools down and go home and say, you know what, ladies, you can have the society. We're done. Not all, but enough men can simply do that and shut the whole world down. It's a good thought. And it could always happen, but one day, I think it will. Anyway, read the article. Let me know what you guys think. And ladies, the power will eventually go out. Feminism, the psychological abuse and emasculation that men constantly endure on an everyday basis will eventually go out right along with it. Because once society no longer becomes civil, men will have a long memory. And some of you will be made examples of. It is what it is. That's all I got to say for this one. RPM, I am